Okay, basic operation of the audio gear. First thing you want to do when you enter this darkness is to turn on the main power strip. It gets you some light from this fixture. The overhead fixture has some wiring problems that for some reason cause bulbs to burn out prematurely. This is the mixer, and we need to relabel a couple of inputs here. The job of the mixer, of course, is to excuse me, take various inputs from microphones and sources, audio sources, and deliver them to the amplified speakers in the sanctuary. I like to keep them all potted down to avoid feedback, but it's up to you. You can, if you can find a sweet spot where you can have several inputs up at the same time and not have feedback, that's great. So from here, okay, that gets us amplified audio to the sanctuary speakers. Out of this, you have this output cable, RCA output cable, that runs to a combo mixer recorder. And for our purposes, we don't use any of the mixing controls. So ignore this. Of course, this is where the output from the main mixer board comes in. So everything that concerns us is probably this half, or this portion. I guess it's about half. Of prime importance is this main mix control here, because you're going to want to have a level showing on this meter and this meter. Okay, here we have the spot for an iPod, which is usually stored here. We'd like to keep it charged. It's a good idea to give it some time on the charger whenever you can. What I would like to do, because particularly because the iPod does not charge while it is recording. So if you start out with a low battery, you run the risk of having it die on you. And let's see, that's some noise. So this iPod is not in the greatest condition. Seems to have some screen damage. So we want to go to voice memos on the menu, and using this dial to select, because this overrides, I guess it overrides this. I guess you could use this still, but this does the same thing. So go to voice memos, press enter, and you'll have an option to record now. And when you hit enter again, recording will begin. When the backlight goes off, you can press the backlight button on this panel to get it to come back, and I'll stay on for a few seconds. Okay, what I've done for testing purposes is I've hooked up my iPod at the podium mic playing a podcast, so because we don't have a person to stand there. Excuse me. And podium mic input on the mixer, I'm going to turn up to approximately the 3 o'clock position, and we can hear it. You can probably hear it out there in the sanctuary. And we are seeing it on these level meters pretty well. If for some reason you fumbled and you accidentally pressed this button here, the levels will go away and you won't be able to record. So just make sure that this, the leftmost of these 3 buttons is punched in, and your levels will return. Master recording level on the panel here is this knob, and the mix coming through, I mean this really refers to the mix from everything, is here, and this is all important because if it's turned down you won't get a recording. So this needs to be adjusted appropriately. once you have your headphones plugged in, you'll be monitoring with this level. So if it's uncomfortably loud, you can turn it down in your earphones. Earphones will plug in to this adapter. This little adapter guy right here. Okay, so we're not recording yet. We'd like to, for demonstration purposes. The screen is blank. Let's get the backlight on. We have record now pulled up. We're going to punch enter. And see what happens. Well, maybe enter again. That's really strange. Microphone attached. That's a strange error. Okay, that was a very strange error, and I hope you don't ever get that. I don't know what prompted it. I cycled the power, got it back on the dock securely. We're going to scroll up to record now. I should clear out some of these old recordings. Record now. Enter. Okay, here we go. We have another record prompt. So once again, press enter. And I don't know if you're paying attention, but the charge indicator at the upper right hand corner of the iPod screen now shows that it is no longer charging. It was charging, like if we were to pause, which is the prompt there, we do begin to charge again, as long as we're paused and not recording. So we resume, we'll hit resume and enter. And once the counter upper runs again, we're no longer charging. But there is these two buttons here with a record charge label on them. This, I think, will get you to charging again if your battery is low enough that you really need some power. So let's see what happens if we press these two. And look at that. If you press these two, you do start to charge again. How about that? And we are still recording. Let's check that. Let's plug in some headphones. The ones that live here are a little bit nasty. They're kind of falling apart. You will have black stuff on you later on, so be mindful of that. And I believe it's working.
Where, you may or may not know, you have something called cerumen. Gross. In I think anything with the word SEO sounds right.
Okay. So that's successful basic podium recording, and the same thing goes for all the other inputs. Whether it's a clip mic, there are two of them. Input 4 is going to be piano. 5 is the stage mic. We moved CD player over here because there was some noise in the lines. The clip mics are on the shelf. They're not. Okay, one is labeled clip mic 1, and the other one is by default clip mic 2. Batteries for them and a tester are in this drawer. Here's a battery tester. It's a neat little battery tester, but it takes batteries, so a battery tester that takes batteries is a little bit, can be a little unreliable. I'm going to get a battery in there if I can do this one-handed. Actually, really can't. And that one's pretty much, that one's a goner. So that goes in our recycle pile, I guess. Oh, no. Once we got it seated, it's a decent level. So there it is. So that's how you do that. Once you're done, it's time to stop. Let's see, I guess the pause button. And you have the option here, pause or stop and save. Let's say we're done. We scroll over to stop and save, hit enter, record light will go out. and your most recent recording will appear on the screen. So those are the basics. Occasionally you'll have an external external audio source that you'll need to get in. That is piped in through this input cable here, and the other end is dangling here. So if there's a like another iPod or something, you'll plug this in and control it with this input knob right here. Remember to put it up and put it down. Otherwise, if there's a playlist, the playlist will continue playing over the pastor on her podium mic. You got panning controls at top. I like to, because of the pianist has a problem hearing, I guess there's a delay in the line, and she'll hear some delay if the left-hand speaker is up by her, so I like to keep it panned somewhat right, if not all the way right. So keep the piano out of the pianist's ears, excuse me, and you can put the choir, this is usually the choir, over to the side, and I tend to put pastor slightly left, though it probably doesn't matter. Alright, those should be the basics. Mixer, recorder operating from here on, iPod, and other audio sources. Alright, thank you. Thanks for watching.